So if you've been following along in the Kratom series, you've probably heard me say 1,000 times now, take your Kratom breaks. Take your Kratom breaks. I make sure that I say it every time just to remind everybody that if you want to be able to utilize an amazing plant like Kratom for the long term, you need to take your Kratom breaks. But what exactly does that mean? So let's talk about that. So first off, I want to tell you guys that today's video is sponsored by my favorite Kratom brand on the planet. This is the Kratom brand that I've been utilizing for nearly 9 years, especially for my go-to as pain management. You can take a look at that video here. But that company is Kingdom Kratom. Kingdom Kratom is where I get all my Kratom from. This is where I get my red Bali from, whether it's your powder form, whether it's your capsules, whether it's your extract shots, whether it's the amazing tasting extract gummies. Kingdom Kratom is the top brand for me that I have found after all these years of trying nearly every Kratom brand around. And remember, they have an awesome kilo deal, which is like $99 for a full kilo. You can choose from any strain, and they've been generous enough to give our community here at Healing Together an amazing discount. So at checkout, go utilize the discount code COACH. You'll get 30% off your entire order. So then now you're getting the best quality Kratom for literally the best price out there. So what exactly do I mean when I say take your Kratom breaks? Well, remember, the body is full of receptor sites for all different things. For caffeine, for nicotine, and especially for opioids. Now, please remember, Kratom is not an opioid. It is a partial opioid agonist, which means it does activate the opioid receptors, but not as a full agonist, which means it doesn't come in and sit on those opioid receptors lock and key like this. What it does is it activates the opioid receptors and kind of floats around them loosely like this. So if this is a receptor site, this is your substance, say Kratom, it comes in and it sits in the opioid receptor like this, and it kind of just floats around. That's not to minimize the potential harms and risks and addictive qualities of Kratom, so please remember that. And if you haven't already, go check out our Kratom playlist here, where we talk about all of this stuff in great depth. Taking your Kratom breaks is absolutely necessary. You want to make sure that you give your body time to clear out those receptors. Now, there's a ton of receptor sites in the body, so if you're new to Kratom, you want to remember less is more. Start with a small amount. Start with the smallest amount necessary to give you the effects desired. Then as you build up, you're going to find your tolerance is also building up, just like with anything else, just like with caffeine. The more you take it, the more you need to take to get the desired effects. And even though Kratom is just a plant, just a leaf, it is such an amazing blessing, such a tool to achieve a lot of things like pain management, stress relief. But if you continue to blast the opioid receptors with something that activates them, you're going to fill them up over time. Then you're not going to get the same effects. So when you give yourself a break, when you give your body time to clear them out, that's when you can come back to it and utilize it to its full potential again. Now, I have many of the clients I work with on a schedule, and that's why I encourage everyone to journal. You want to journal everything. I journal everything every day. I've been doing it for 7 or 8 years consistently, and I have a stack of journals. I've shown them in a couple videos here before. And this is also so important so we can be aware and responsible of our Kratom consumption. So a schedule that a lot of my clients are on is 5 days on, 2 days off, which would be basically if it's the work week that you really need it for pain while sitting or standing or working, then you'll take Monday through Friday. That will be your main Kratom usage, and try to take the weekends off entirely. I know for a lot of people utilizing it as pain management like myself, that's a really difficult thing to do. We're going to get into that part of things in another video. But taking your Kratom break essentially gives that body a rest. It gives the body a break. It gives those receptors a break from that one substance, then utilize some other substances or other compounds or other vitamins, minerals, different things like that to help your body rejuvenate those receptors. So an example of another schedule that one of my clients takes is 3 days on, 3 days off. He doesn't need it for pain management. He utilizes it more for the stress of his work. And his workload through the week is very demanding. So he'll typically do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday on, Thursday, Friday, Saturday off. Then Sunday, he'll take it a little bit, meaning maybe 1 dose, 2 doses in smaller amounts. Back to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday on, Thursday, Friday, Saturday off. And that works great for him. He's been utilizing Kratom to its full benefits, its full effects for quite a long time. Now, for someone like me who's been on it for almost 11 years daily is what I would say, that doesn't mean that I don't take my Kratom breaks. So for me, what I do is something that I call a deload week. And that's a term that we use in bodybuilding to say that we're going to take the stress off our body from training fully, from training full-blown, really hard, to giving our body a rest period, taking a break, still training, but not to 100%. Does that make sense? So an example of my deload week that I utilize is every month I'll take 1 week where I will cut my Kratom doses in half entirely, as well as stretch out the time between my doses. So my normal dosing to manage my pain daily is 1 full tablespoon every 4 hours. And when my pain gets really bad, I don't make it 4 hours. It'll end up being probably about 3 hours. So I'll take a tablespoon every 3 hours on bad days. Normal days, I'll take a tablespoon every 4 hours. Then once a month, and right now that is at the end of every month, I do a deload week. Cut my dose in half and I go down to 1.5 teaspoons. And remember, 3 teaspoons equals 1 tablespoon. And yes, be careful with that tablespoon, because if you're grabbing a big scoop with a tablespoon or a measuring spoon and you're rounding off that tablespoon, you can end up really getting almost half another tablespoon in that rounded off scoop. And that's how we sometimes cheat it. But that's again why I want you to journal everything. So in my journal, I even say, took a heaping tablespoon. And that way, I'm responsible and I know I'm taking a little too much, or I'm taking more than I should be. Deload week, cut it in half, 1.5 teaspoons every 5 hours is what I try to stretch it to. Because 5 hours is kind of a long time for me to go without something to help manage my pain, because I'm in that much pain every day. But I'll do this for a full week, a full 7 days. That's my deload week. But I admit there are months where I can't go a full deload week because I'm just in that much pain. But like in the summertime, that's when I feel the best. I try to stretch it out even longer. I try to take a little less, because even though we may not be taking like an entire break where we say, I'm not taking any for a while, when we cut down our doses, we're still letting the receptors clear out a bit. Not entirely, not fully, but we're letting those receptor sites clear out a bit, so that when I come back to my Kratom usage at my full-blown usage schedule, I feel it even more and I feel it a little bit better. I get asked all the time, Coach, do you feel like after 11 years you still get the benefit of Kratom? Yes, I still get the benefit. When I'm blasting my receptors in a bad month, or a month that I'm in a lot of pain and I'm really taking a lot, I don't feel it as much. I still get the pain management side of things. For some reason, that still works very, very well. But I don't get the added benefits, that euphoria, kind of that warm opioid feeling, that nice blanket that comes over us. That is what I lose out on. And I don't want to lose out on that. So that's why, even though I may love taking my Kratom, enjoy the experience, even enjoy the process, I make sure that I hold myself accountable and say, hey, it's deload week. You got to do this, because when you get back to it, it's going to feel better. So that's what you have to keep telling yourself. You have to tell yourself that even though you don't want to get off, you don't want to take a break, when you get back on, you get to tell yourself, dude, it's going to feel better. It's going to feel more effective. I'm going to enjoy it even more. So that is what taking your Kratom breaks means. I'm going to encourage you guys every video, take your Kratom breaks. Please, take Kratom responsibly. This is not something that I believe people should just be taking casually without knowing what it does to the body, without knowing its full effects, good, bad, indifferent. And again, that's why we've made so many videos in the Kratom playlist. We'll put a link to the Kratom playlist in the description below. We'll also remind you to go to kingdomkratom.com, and we'll put that discount code below. And as always, I want to please remind you guys, if you haven't already, like, share, and subscribe, because we really need that support for the community to grow. And I want to thank you guys for all your support, all your love, and especially for reaching out to me. I get so many emails, DMs, and I really appreciate it. It's awesome. I can't thank you guys enough for the love. And I hope that when I make these videos for you guys, you also feel the love and support coming back at you. And again, I want to thank Kingdom Kratom for sponsoring this video and for supporting Healing Together and Team HardgainZ. And if you're new to the channel, Team HardgainZ is my coaching company. I go by Coach HardgainZ. I've been coaching bodybuilding, current and recovering drug addiction for over 25 years. This is what I love to do. This is what I'm passionate about. This is my life's work. And if I am able to bring any value into your life, that is what makes me happy. So drop a line in the comment section, guys. Let us know what we can do for you as far as any other videos you want to see. Definitely as far as Kratom information. Getting the word out there about Healing Together is what's going to help us push our advocacy for Kratom through all the red flags and the hoops that they want us to jump through. And I hope to see you in the next video. Until then, friends, I'm Coach HardgainZ, and this is Healing Together.